I am just going to the garage to pull out my ranunculus and anemone corms. Here is our half done, quite messy state of downstairs. It's really coming along together. It's just a little messy. I've just kept these in my garage, in the closet, in the dark, in this vermiculite. Okay, grabbed my things, but also I wanted to share with you some of the progress that we've been making here downstairs. We have a fridge. We're getting the countertops installed on these cabinets and the backsplash for it on Wednesday. There is still a lot of just cleaning up, a lot of our things to do, but Brendan has been making some amazing progress, like really quick progress in the bedroom. Let me show you that. What are you working on now?
Oh, the trim. But I messed up and I cut one too short, so I gotta go get another one. I think the end of the world.
Yeah, it's fine.
What I need to do, the one I need to get another one to put right here because I messed up. So that works, but this one is too wide. So I need to rip it and then rip this one so that they fit together.
Yeah.
Perfectly. And I mean, I guess I could do it now, but I'd rather have the other one right here.
Yeah.
So I know.
And we were debating what color the trim should be, because we have the doors are this, it's called rolling pebble or something. Those are the doors. The doors are going to be that rolling pebble color. The inside trim is that rolling pebble. But I do think the outside should stay this white color. It's going to look too, it's just going to make the room look a little smaller, I think, if you put rolling pebble along the trim. Does that make sense? No, maybe not. We'll see. Brendan thinks it should be rolling pebble.
I think it should be rolling pebble, but
we'll see how it is when we get everything together. And you said you could put the doors up so we could see.
Yeah, and I could paint it after I put it on there. So yeah, we'll put it on there, see what it looks like, and then make a final call.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, we've had these differences before, and sometimes Brendan is right, and I have to apologize to him afterwards. But sometimes I'm right too.
You're right.
And nothing is like permanent. We can always change things.
So you got these pajama bottoms, go to Home Depot. Or not, I mean, it's Alaska. Who cares?
So while Brendan is away getting the trim for the closet door, I just want to talk to you about some of the other things that he's done in here that I helped to do too. I did help to paint the walls. He went over probably everything I did, but I got the first coat done. I helped to prime this pony wall as well from the dark blue that it was. It probably didn't need primer, but I did anyway. We wanted to do it just in case. I can show you some clips of us trying to get this whole room painted. Trying to paint the ceiling, that was the hardest part. So I gave up like halfway through. Brendan had to do the rest, but I did paint a good chunk of this room. Brendan took off these closet doors. He ended up painting them that this taupe color that we used at the back. Brendan put up the doors for the bedroom and for the bathroom back there, the connected bathroom. And that bathroom is pretty much almost done. I'll show it in an upcoming video, just like a complete before and after. All that's left are the finishing touches, the last little small details that we have to do in there. And it's felt a lot throughout this whole project downstairs and the other room as well, is that's kind of what's holding it all from feeling like it's completely done, is those last finishing touches, and also cleaning up all of our mess, all of our things that we have to now find space for or get rid of. We've really been using this as kind of a storage area, just somewhere where we can put things that we don't have to think about, because we basically just live upstairs. And Brendan has also done the floor. I'll show some clips now of Brendan putting in the flooring the other day. Hey, what are we doing?
We're prepping the floor for flooring. This used to be carpet, and they put a bunch of glue down for the carpet underlaying it, so I've been scraping all that up.
Okay, Ghostbusters. Got all the ghosts out.
Gotta go like this.
Now it's pretty much all done. I think all he has to do are the transition strips. And he did them really quickly. He got the whole floor done in like a couple of days. And that's also while he's working his normal job. And yeah, I think today Brendan is gonna get a lot of work done. It's Sunday, and that's typically one of the days that he gets a lot of work done on, our house, on these projects. He's getting the rest of the trim. I think he's gonna finish this off and maybe work on the floor trim. But for now, I'm just gonna take my ranunculus and anemone corms upstairs. Actually, maybe I'll work down here. Maybe I'll bring my things down here, because there's just a lot of space here and it gets such great light that I might work down here. It's already kind of messy, so I won't feel bad if I make a mess. Okay, never mind. Brendan came back and I just realized that this would take hours. I'm just gonna pull these out and soak them in water, and I'll leave them for a few hours, maybe 4 to 6 hours. Okay, I think I got all of them. It's kind of a mess with some vermiculite and all the soil that was still attached to it. I'm a little bit afraid because a lot of these look dead. And I haven't ever rehydrated any of the corms that I've saved, so I'm gonna cross my fingers that these all look great in a couple of hours. Here are what the corms look like. Thankfully, they have hydrated really well, which is great. I was so scared that they would all be dead. They all look alive and healthy and plump. So when I was putting these away, when I was storing these for the winter to dry, I wasn't sure whether it was better to cut off all of the roots from the bottom of these corms or not. And I think I did it for some and not for others. Here's an example of one corm that has its roots trimmed and one that hasn't. And I don't think it makes much of a difference in terms of how well they stored. I would say next time I'll just clean them all off. I'll cut them all off just because it makes things a lot cleaner when I'm taking them out. I definitely want to take these off before I replant them so that it doesn't create just an air pocket between the corm and the soil. I got them mostly cleaned up, and now I just want to count how many ranunculus corms, how many anemone corms I have. But I do want to see how many corms survive the pre-sprouting process. Maybe some of them will rot out. And then how many corms I can harvest from or get out of the ground to store next winter. Hopefully they multiply. There's already some corms that I can't separate because some of them are too small. There are some baby ranunculus corms that I hope do well. I'm not sure if they'll grow. That'll be nice to just monitor and see how well everything's working, if I'm getting the same amount of corms I plant, if I'm getting less or if I'm getting more. Let's see. So 27 ranunculus corms and $17 healthy anemone corms, 18 if I include this one, which I don't know if you can see. There's kind of this big hole in the middle. It looks like a mouth, and then it's a little squishy on top. Maybe the bottom part is still viable. It's still hard on the bottom, so we'll see. And now how I'm gonna plant it is I just have a 10-20 tray. I have some lightly moistened but very fluffy. It doesn't feel too wet at all. It just feels kind of hydrated. It was pretty dry. I had the bag in here for the winter, and it gets super dry in here. I want it light, nice and fluffy so that I can press these corms in, and so that it doesn't leave big gaps where if it gets wet, it just can cause a lot of bacteria to grow in there. A lot of bad bacteria, anaerobic bacteria. And I just filled it up about halfway, and now I'm going to be putting these in. I'm not worried about labeling them. I know that I just had this romantic mix ranunculus from Eden Brothers, and I have the decane anemones from Eden Brothers as well. So as I said, I'm just going to press it in and kind of hope that all of the soil is getting in the center between all of these little legs. And I'm gonna give these a good amount of space. I have this whole tray and not so many corms. So just in case they have to stay in here for longer than I expect, they'll have a lot of space to grow. I'm just getting an idea for the spacing by laying them out over the top. And I'll go back and press them in. Okay, it all fits really great onto this. And then I'm gonna cover it with maybe another ½ inch of soil. Okay, perfect. And last, I'm just gonna lightly water this in. The corms have already been soaking, so I don't wanna waterlog this tray so much that they'll rot, that they can't breathe and they'll rot. So I'm just gonna, give it a light watering to have the soil all set in place. And then I'll check up on it every few days. I'll check up on it every day. I look at all of my little seedlings every single day, multiple times a day. And whenever it gets too dry, I'll water it in. Hopefully in about a week or so, I'll look and check to see how the root development is going, to see if any of them rotted out. But I think really they can all stay in this tray for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And by that time, I'll hopefully have the hoop house ready to get these into. Anyways, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing our progress remodeling downstairs. I haven't done a great job of keeping up with that, but we've been working on it for about a year maybe, like seriously working on it, and it's all coming together now. we haven't always had the time to work on it. I haven't always had the time to film it or make a video about it, but I do have a series of videos on YouTube, our home renovation vlogs that cover that, as well as, you know, a lot of garden chores that I get to, like starting and pre-sprouting my ranunculus and anemone corms. Yeah, anyways, thanks so much for watching. Bye.
It's 9 p.m., Brendan.
Okay. I have to adjust the bottom since we adjust, you know, the floor is different. The height is different.
Okay.
So I have to pull that part out and crank it. And these anchors normally is like a bunch of teeth and it's way more adjustable to just slide it across, but this one's old and I have to move this thing around.
Mm-hmm. And then remember to spend some time with me before you go to bed tonight.
Faster though.
What do you think, Juke? You approve? Is everything going well? He's a supervisor. He comes in every now and then just to check up.